Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I had a lot of students contact me today saying they don't understand how to write a constructed response. We've been working on this for the last week and a half. We've been talking about the dot and how Vashti demonstrates a growth mindset. We've also been working on figuring out all of the parts of a constructed response. Okay? This assignment, it culminates or it comes to a task where you have to work on your own. So this prompt, which I'm going to go ahead and present right now, it will count as a test grade. I'll read it to you. Okay, here is the prompt right here. Explain in your own words what a growth mindset is. How does Vashti from the dot demonstrate a growth mindset? Okay, so we have figured out already how to break down a prompt. If you look earlier in your HyperDoc, if you're not sure how to do this, go over all of the steps for the first part of how to use Race's HyperDoc. Okay, we learned that there are several steps to breaking down a prompt. The first is to read the prompt, right? So we have to read it. We already did that. So I'll go back, I'll reread it just to make sure. Explain in your own words what a growth mindset is. How does Vashti from the dot demonstrate a growth mindset? We read it. Okay, step number 2, if you look at slides 11 and 12, say figure out what kind of writing you're going to be doing. So let's look. Is the prompt narrative where it's asking us to tell a story? Do we need to provide information? Is it informational? Or do we need to make an argument where we're trying to persuade someone to do something? So if we look back at slide 37, explain in your own words what a growth mindset is. Well, it seems like they're asking for information. So this is going to be an informational response. And because this is a text-dependent question, we need the story, the dot, the words from the story to support our answer. Okay, so the words from the story are required. All right. So now we're going to look at what is step 3. If you're not sure, it's okay to reread. It's okay to go back. We need to highlight the question words. We need to highlight the question words inside our prompt. What are question words? They're words like who, what, when, where, why, or how. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take that prompt that will be graded as a test, right? Our response here. And I'm going to copy from my slide deck, and I'm going to paste the prompt just so I can remember what's being asked of me. Okay, so I already read the prompt, and now I know I need to highlight the question words, and I need to circle or do something to offset the action verbs. So action verbs are verbs that are asking me to do something. Let's look at sentence 1. Explain in your own words what a growth mindset is. Is there any action verbs, or is there a word that's telling me to do something? Yes, right? Explain. So I'm going to put that in red. Okay, my action verb. All right, so I have to explain. Explain what? Okay, what is a question word? So I'm going to highlight it, just like my HyperDoc tells me to. I have to explain what is, what a growth mindset is. That's keyword. So I have to tell what a growth mindset is. Okay, I'm going to just, okay, and then I have to do this in my own words. That's another keyword. Okay, so looking at the prompt, I have to explain in my own words, what a growth mindset is. So I need to explain. Here I'm going to magic of television you. I need to tell what a growth mindset is in my own words. Okay? Then it says, how does, right? Those are question words. So I'm going to highlight that. How does Vashti from the dot demonstrate a growth mindset? To demonstrate is to be an example, right? A demo is an example. So how does she demonstrate, or how is she an example of a growth mindset? So who are we talking about? We're talking about Vashti. So I'm going to underline that as a keyword. From what story? From the dot. I'm going to underline that because it's a keyword. Demonstrate is a keyword. How is she an example? And we have growth mindset, which continues to be the keyword. Okay, so we need to show our answer of how Vashti demonstrates or is an example of growth mindset. Okay, so we just created a checklist, and that's good because now we have to make sure we do this in our answer. We need to explain or tell what a growth mindset is in our own words, and we need to show how Vashti demonstrates or is an example of a growth mindset. You have a frame to help you get started. Here's the beginning of a restatement. Okay, so the question is, what is a growth mindset, right? What is a growth mindset? A growth mindset is, and you need to tell me in your own words, Vashti from which story? Read the prompt. Vashti from this story demonstrates a growth mindset by, answer in your own words. Because this is a text-dependent question, you do need the story, the words from the story in quotation marks, to prove your answer. Which is why, inside the work for today, you do have a PDF of the entire story. If you click, this is the instructions for Tuesday. If you go to today, you'll find this. If you click here, you're going to see the entire story. You need to read the story and find whatever you like from this story, whether it's in quotation marks or not. They are all the words from the author. And you're going to take whatever words you feel show that Vashti demonstrates a growth mindset. Okay. Go ahead and fill in the quotation marks with the quotes that you think prove your answer. In blue, you're going to explain or elaborate, which means that you are going to provide me with information. You're going to tell me why that quote you selected proves your answer, because you cannot just assume that I, as your teacher, know your thoughts. I can't read your thoughts, right? We don't operate that way as humans. The only way I can understand that you know this story and that you're explaining your learning is by you using your words to do that. So all of the blue is your own explanation coming from your own thoughts, where you are telling me how these quotes are showing me that Vashti is changing. Finally, you need a conclusion sentence that is not a copy of your topic sentence. Vashti is a fine example of a growth mindset because she, and then tell me what. I strongly suggest that you read over the prompt, that you create a checklist for yourself, and that after you do that, you go back and reread the story to find the quotes that you think are strong. This is due tomorrow for a test grade.